Okay, we're live.
All right, I'm going to call the Portsmouth Public Library Board meeting on February 23rd, 2021 to order at 12:04. Would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Morton,
Here.
Mrs. Tiemann,
Here.
Mr. Clay, Mr. Sammons, Miss Brush,
Here.
Mr. Schischler, Dr. Camp.
Here.
Okay, we are minus the secretary today. Ralph is not able to join us. I would like to appoint Kara Tiemann to the Secretary Pro Tem position today. Kara, is that okay with you? Yes. Thank you. And at this point, I believe we need to administer the oath for Charles.
Yes. Okay, Charles, can
Okay.
you raise your right hand, please? And repeat after me. I, Charles Kemp,
I, Charles Kemp,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
my duties of the office of Vice President of the Board of Trustees of the Portsmouth Public Library
my duties as the Vice President of the Board of Trustees of the Portsmouth Public Library
of Scioto County, Ohio,
of Scioto County, Ohio,
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws in effect
and in accordance with the laws
and hereinafter to be enacted during my term of office.
and hereinafter to be enacted during my term of
Okay?
Wonderful, Charles. It's long, isn't it?
It is.
that one especially.
I'm like, what am I signing up for here?
There's not a good place to pause either, so.
All right, well, we'll move on. Now that Charles has sworn, we will move on to the approval of minutes. These are going to be for the Audit, Budget and Expenditure Committee, the Special Committee, the Organizational Committee, and organizational meeting and regular meeting for January 12th, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Thank you, Charles. Do I have a second?
I'll second, Kara.
Thank you, Kara. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now, did we need to do a roll call there? Was there anything in those that needed a roll?
I don't think so for the minutes.
Okay. All right. I thought not, but I forgot to ask first. Okay, moving on to the approval of the financial reports for January 2021. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report for January of 2021.
Thank you, Kara. Do I have a second?
Ruth Ann will second.
Thank you, Ruth Ann. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Morton,
Yes.
Mrs. Tiemann,
Yes.
Miss Brush,
Yes.
Dr. Camp.
Yes.
All right. Item 4, paying the bills for January 2021, the amount of $324,120.67. That does include payroll. Do I have a motion?
This is Ruth Ann. I make a motion that we pay the January 21 bills.
Thank you, Ruth Ann. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kara. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Mrs. Morton,
Yes.
Mrs. Tiemann,
Yes.
Miss Brush,
Yes.
Dr. Camp.
Yes.
Budget audit and expenditures report would be Ryan. In his absence, do we have another committee member or Dylan, probably you've got some information for that for us.
Yes, so two of our largest investments are held through the Treasurer of State's office. And as of May 31st, the Treasurer of State will no longer endorse the Star Plus program as the product for Star Ohio participants. If we do not choose to transfer, they would automatically roll it over. So I figured it'd be best to just go ahead and move the money now. So we're going to be moving it from our Star Plus account to our Star Ohio account. And the current balance as of the end of January is $2,451,059.71. We will accrue some interest for February, so the motion does include, as well as any interest earned in February of 2021.
Excellent.
I'll make a motion that we approve the transfer from the Star Plus account to the Star Ohio account, as well as any accrued interest in February of 2021.
Thank you, Kara. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Charles. Any other discussion or anything else to add, Dylan?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Morton,
Yes.
Mrs. Tiemann,
Yes.
Ms. Brush,
Yes.
Dr. Kemp.
Yes.
All right, property and extension. Ruth Ann, talk to us about Lucasville branch.
Okay, I had a brief conversation with Paige. The architect went out to the branch in Lucasville and doesn't think the windows are a problem from the erosion. He also recommends that we hire a civil engineer to determine where we stand with the erosion. Now, Paige, is there anything else to add to that?
I'll just briefly. Randy is more just of an architect, but he says that he suggests we go with a civil engineer to deal with that. And so he's recommended a few. We did deal with one with the South Webster Library, but he's also sent some other recommendations. But in talking with him, it is going to require a lot of paperwork and a lot of work with the EPA and a lot of other federal level agencies, and it's very hard to navigate and it takes a long time. So we may have to do a short-term fix that doesn't impact, or we don't have to have the EPA's approval, but we really need to get a civil engineer hired. So my recommendation would be, if possible, we've done this in the past before, to make a motion to send out a legal ad, pay to have a legal ad put out for, it's called the Statement of Qualifications for Engineering and Architects. Basically what you send this ad out, and the engineers and architects just send in their qualifications like a packet, and you keep those on hand, and you can do that yearly, and then you can select from those people that have sent their packet in, instead of having to go out and advertise each time.
Okay.
So if possible, if you all would make the motion to have an ad placed for the Statement of Qualifications for professional.
Paige, do we have to bid
issues.
that out?
Not unless the cost of the professional fees go over $50,000, and that would be a massive project. So,
Okay.
I mean, that would be almost like a school. So, I don't think we'd have to worry about that in this project,
Okay.
okay?
So the statement for qualifications ad that we're asking for, and you will compile these folks, and then as long as this project would, the the temporary fix or short-term fix would be under 50,000 or so, we could select from the people who have submitted statement for qualifications. Is that right?
Now, the $50,000, in the beginning, we thought it had to be for the total project. The $50,000 is the actual fee paid to the
engineer.
To the engineer. So
I
you
got
see, it would be a massive project.
I see.
So yes, it would be, as long as we don't have to pay the professional over $50,000 for their fees, we don't have to bid out.
Okay. And these qualifications are good for 1 year?
Yes, it's an annual. We haven't done it in a while because we haven't needed it, but once they submit these, they're good for 1 year.
Okay.
Can you specify like civil engineer so
Sometimes
that we don't,
we can do civil engineers, or sometimes it might just do, as engineers. We don't need the architects, definitely, but
I just want to make sure that we get someone that's qualified
Right.
in that specific area.
The good thing is with this is that if you do this, you are permitted to invite engineers and architects to submit. Now, if you do bidding, that's a little different, but with this, you are able to contact the engineers and other people that you know, as long as it's open to everyone.
Okay.
Where do we place the ad?
That's a good question. So we have done it locally before. We also are permitted to put it on our Facebook page and website. In the past, we have put it out in Chillicothe, in Huntington, and here in Portsmouth.
I would think the civil engineer population would be kind of limited right now
I think
in just
yeah,
our local area, because
yes.
when we have difficulty trying to find structural engineers, so do you think it's a good idea to go to the multiple areas like you spoke of in the past?
Yeah, well, definitely going to at least Chillicothe or because the Columbus will catch them. All of the people that that Randy has recommended are in either Chillicothe or Columbus. And with the engineers, at some point we are going to need a structural engineer too out there. So we might just
Okay.
want to do for maybe those two types of engineers.
Yeah, I think that would be wise.
I do too. Do we need to put that in a motion at this time, Paige, or did you want to wait until March?
I think that we need to, since we are going to have expenditure of funds, because I will tell you, those ads can be very expensive, sometimes up to $1,000 an ad. We may want to, I think we need to go ahead and approve the expenditure.
Okay.
Is the ad going to be in a newspaper or a publication, industry specific, or where's the ad going?
They just go to newspapers, legal ads. If you look at
Okay.
at like The Voice or
Yes.
The Times, you look in the back and you'll see those legal ads.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there are industry-specific publications or online that all they do is hire people to look through these newspapers every day and pull the ads.
Okay. All right. Well, I would entertain a motion for us to do this.
I will make a motion that we place the ad for statement of qualifications for civil and/or structural engineer.
Great. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Charles. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Morton,
Yes.
Mrs. Tiemann,
Yes.
Miss Brush,
Yes.
Dr. Kemp.
Yes.
Right. Moving to the Personnel Committee, Miss Kara.
Okay, Paige, I'll have to defer to you on these, I think.
Okay, the sick leave policy is just informational. There had been the question from our representative in our legal counsel that for the first time she had noted that with sick leave policy that we needed to transfer sick leave from other governmental agencies, and that we also, when someone retired, that we needed to pay out so much. We never had that before, and we had always understood that Ohio Public Libraries weren't under that ruling. So I did check with the Ohio Library Council, as I mentioned last month. I checked with them, and they did have had a legal opinion letter that was written by Voorhees. Some of you may be familiar with them. Libraries, according to their opinion, libraries do not fall under that Ohio Revised Code. So I sent a copy of that to Danielle, and I'm just awaiting her thoughts on it. So I hopefully will have an update on that next month.
So the legal opinion said that libraries do not fall under that section of the ORC that would require you to pay out upon retirement.
And transfer in, yes.
And transfer in, okay.
Right.
All right. And then we forwarded that to our legal counsel to review.
Correct.
Okay. Good.
And then the next item page, the vacation accrual, I think I read in Dylan's thing that was supposed to start January 3rd, but we were awaiting something maybe.
I think that was such a massive meeting that we just, it was our fault. We overlooked to ask the board to put an effective date in there. So for the auditing purposes and payroll purposes, we needed to go back and put an effective date of January 3rd.
We approved it, we just didn't say the effective date.
Correct. Yes.
It was
Okay,
approved.
and that was January 3rd,
Yeah.
correct, 2021?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was approved based
Okay,
on waiting for legal counsel, but then legal counsel didn't get back to us until halfway through that next pay period. So I just wanted to make sure that we have an official start date so I can make sure everybody's accruing the correct amount from that point forward.
Okay. I'll make the motion to clarify the new vacation accrual schedule that was approved by legal counsel in December went into effect as of January 3rd, 2021.
Thank you, Kara. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'll second. Okay.
That's Charles. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Morton,
Yes.
Mrs. Tiemann,
Yes.
Ms. Brush,
Yes.
Dr. Kemp.
Yes.
All right, we have no report from materials and equipment. We have no report from policy. Now it's time for reports from special committees, and that would be from the director. Paige?
I was just going to let you know that some good news that as of March of last year is when all of this started. It's hard to believe it's almost been a year of this, isn't it? Yes. That we started digital library cards. We never had those, but I knew with us having to close and not knowing when we opened, I had IT and others work on getting a digital card up. So that happened in March. And so it almost being a year, we have about 500 new patrons who are digital card holders, which is incredible. And we are really going to continue to push that option. But anyway, I thought 500 is a very, that's great, 500 new patrons.
That's fantastic.
Great.
Yes, so some good news there.
Good deal. That's something positive that's come out of this chaos.
Yes, yes it is.
All right, unfinished business. I wanted to bring up performance evaluations here. I was so proud of us as a board because we actually got them done on time this year, and then by the time we could get signatures and get everything else together, we're still behind. But that
It's hard
is
when we're not together.
It is. It's making it very difficult. But we do have the performance evaluations for both Dylan and Paige completed. I'm going to email those to each of you individually as soon as the meeting is over. The board has evaluated and discussed and signed off on it. So what I will need you all to do is review it. If you have any questions, contact me and we can have a special conversation or, any issues with that we can address. And then I'll need your signature and then them returned to me by either scanning, faxing, or I can pick them up, however that needs to happen. I would like to thank both of you for some outstanding work over the past year. You know, Dylan, your creativity and your vision that you have in looking at the big picture fiscally has been very impressive, and we are extremely happy to have you at the library, and we very much look forward to your growth and what you are going to continue to bring to us. Very happy with you and having you there. And Paige, the very first sentence in your evaluation says, Paige has done a tremendous job navigating the library through the pandemic. Unbelievable what all you and all the staff have had to go through, and you've kept a level head. You've certainly kept the strategic initiatives and focused in making sure that the staff remain safe, and just done an outstanding job. So those are my words. I would be happy to entertain any other board member who would like to commend them, but we're very, very pleased with both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would concur with all of Tammy, what she said. We're very, very blessed to have you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I couldn't agree more.
It's
I
Ricky,
just
and I
appreciate. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Charles, I'm sorry.
I just appreciate the leadership that both of you bring and the way you lead your respective staffs and how that makes the library work so well, which then gives such a great service to our community. So thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And one of the exciting things moving forward this year is the consultant that we have working with the leadership team, and I've heard very good things about positive steps forward working with him, and you also were anxiously awaiting even better results and information later this year, and hopefully that's going to be a very positive experience for the management team there in the library. Okay, so I will send that email out to you after this meeting. I don't have any other unfinished business. Board, is there anything else you all need to address?
no.
All right. So I need a motion to excuse absent board members. That would be Mr. Schisler and Mr. Clay.
And Ron.
Mr. Salmon.
Salmon.
And Mr. Sampson, that's right.
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you, Kara. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? No. All right, and any public comment?
None.
All right. Well, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Roseanne. Charles, was that you
Yes.
as a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.